Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good people, depending on where you're watching from. Welcome back to Money Conversations with Magical. Today, I'd like us to discuss an important aspect when it comes to investing, and this is the aspect of time. In the financial universe, time is a powerful force. So if you're a young person and you're not taking advantage of this important aspect, the aspect of time, you will eventually pay a cost. This is called the cost of delay. So if you've been postponing that investment, saying I'll do it next month, I'll do it in the next 5 years, I'll do it in the next 2 years, this video is for you. Picture two people who are supposed to go from Nairobi to Nakuru. There is a meeting in Nakuru at 7 p.m. in the evening, and they're both supposed to attend that meeting without being late. One of the people leaves Nairobi at, let's say, 9 a.m. and the other person leaves at 2 p.m. The person who leaves at 9 a.m. could easily drive at 40 kilometers per hour, and they will get to Nakuru in good time to attend the meeting at 7. They will drive without pressure, they will drive without having to rush, but they'll eventually get to the meeting in good time. The person who leaves Nairobi at 2 p.m. on the other hand will still reach Nakuru, get to the meeting, but they have to drive at an extra speed. Maybe they have to drive at over 100 kilometers per hour, and that comes with a lot of pressure. They could be arrested by the police, so they end up paying some fines, and eventually they'll still get to the same meeting. That's the analogy I can give for the cost of delay. You will eventually get to your destination, but it comes at a cost. I have a personal example. There's something I was supposed to sort in my car. Before the war in Iran started, I was supposed to pay below, let's say below 60 or 50,000 shillings. Last week I inquired about the same service, and now it's going for above 100,000. That's a very, very live example of the cost of delay. Similarly, when it comes to investment, if one starts investing early for a certain goal, let's say two people have a similar goal to do a certain project in a number of years. One person starts early. They can easily invest smaller amounts of money at less financial pressure. But the person who starts late to achieve the same goal will have to then put in more money, put in more pressure to achieve the same goal. Yes, they might achieve the same goal, but at a cost of pressure and financial, a lot of financial pressure for themselves. So that's how you look at the cost of delay. You have to pay a cost. The person driving late must drive under pressure. They have to drive at a very high speed. And similarly, the person who starts investing late must put in extra effort, must put in the financial pressure to achieve as the similar goal that they intend to achieve. So the other cost of delay you get when you start late is you fail to benefit from not just growth, but you fail to benefit from growth on growth. Allow me to explain that. I'm talking about compounding, and I've spoken about compounding in one of my previous videos. And as Albert Einstein says, compounding is the 8th wonder of the world. It means that your interest is also earning interest. So instead of just your principal money earning interest, your interest or your growth is also earning. So when you start late, you pay for that cost. Your money that is not able to benefit from that in the early years. So at the beginning, compounding feels slow, really slow. It's actually like watching paint dry. It's very slow. You might not notice it. And this is where most people give up. And at the very first years of investing, you might not notice a lot of growth. So people give up. So you feel the effect of compounding in the later years. But in the early years, when you start early, your money does the heavy lifting for you. So people have a lot of reasons why they cannot start early. So many reasons, and everyone has their reasons, whether they are valid or not valid. Starting from, I will start next year when I get a pay rise. I will start when I get a family. I will start when I settle all my bills. I will start when I move to a new city or to a new job. There are so many reasons. But remember that whatever time you choose to start, whatever time you start your investment, there are consequences for that. If you start early, you benefit from compounding. You're able to invest lesser amounts without so much pressure. When you start late, you miss out on compounding and you suffer the cost of delay, that you have to put in more money, and that comes at a higher pressure. So what is the action plan to ensure that we are not missing out on time? The first thing is you can do what is called micro investing. If you cannot invest that 100,000, invest 3,000. You're still investing. And if you cannot invest the 3,000, break it down into manageable amounts. How do you eat an elephant? Piece by piece. You don't eat the whole elephant. You cut it into bits, put it maybe in the fridge and eat little by little. Similarly, you can do that when it comes to investing. If you cannot invest the 3,000, break it down into daily goals. If you break down 3,000 per month, that means you're doing 100 shillings per day. 100 shillings per day eventually will lead to something meaningful. So that is micro investing. The other thing you can do, and spoke about it, is doing the automation. When you automate, you set monthly deductions from either the checkoff, which is from your employer. You set aside a debit order or a standing order through your bank. So then automation helps you to avoid the negative side of willpower, because like I indicated before, human beings are naturally weak when it comes to making decisions about investing. But when you automate, you are able to handle that. So ladies and gentlemen, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is now. Start where you are. Start now and benefit from the compounding effect and save yourself the cost of delay. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.